Cats and dogs have lived beside humans for thousands of years. We feed them, protect them, and even call them family. Yet one mystery has never disappeared. Why can two of the world's most beloved pets suddenly turn into enemies? If they were born to hate each other, why do so many cats and dogs become inseparable friends? And if they were never natural enemies, why can one wagging tail, one stare, or one playful jump explode into a fight within seconds? The answer has almost nothing to do with aggression. It begins with a mistake. A mistake hidden inside millions of years of evolution. Because every time a cat and a dog meet, they are trying to have the same conversation. Conversation. Using two completely different languages. And once you understand what each of them is really saying, you'll never look at their fights the same way again. The truth is, cats and dogs do not actually have a hard-coded hatred for one another. They are not direct evolutionary rivals, like a mongoose and a cobra. The problem is far more fundamental. They come from completely different continents, different social structures, and wildly different hunting strategies. To understand why your living room feels like a war zone, we must look at the underlying software running in their brains. The answer is not just one thing. It is a layered biological mismatch. A series of escalating translation errors that push harmless interactions into full-blown predator and prey dynamics. In 2018, researchers at the University of Lincoln published a comprehensive study on interspecies communication. They found that almost every physical signal these two animals share means the exact opposite thing to the other. If we pull apart these mismatched signals layer by layer, you will see exactly why a simple friendly greeting turns into an absolute bloodbath. Let us start with the tail wag. In the canine world, a wagging tail generally signals friendliness, excitement, or a desire to engage. It is an open invitation to approach. In the feline world, a slowly swishing tail signals irritation, extreme focus, or mounting frustration. It is a strict warning to back off immediately. A dog sees a cat. The dog registers the tail movement, files it under friendly, and bounds forward happily. The cat is actively broadcasting that it is one provocation away from extreme violence. The dog ignores the warning because it literally cannot read it. The cat reads this as aggressive escalation. The claws come out. A physical fight begins entirely because of a translation error involving a shared body part, but the mismatched body language runs much deeper than just tails. Direct eye contact is a perfect example of how completely these animals talk past each other. Prolonged staring from an unfamiliar dog often reads as a physical threat. Dogs frequently look away to signal politeness. A slow blink from a cat is a sign of immense trust. But if a cat slow blinks at an insecure dog, the dog might only registers the intense staring that happened right before it. Misreads happen, especially in those crucial first few seconds of any new interaction, which is exactly when these dangerous misreads matter the most. This brings us to an overlooked factor. The default social structures baked deep into their biology. Dogs descend from wolves. They evolved within cooperative pack structures, built around shared resources and constant social negotiation. This baked a heavy cooperative instinct into dog behavior. They are biologically wired to seek out group interaction and investigate whoever happens to be nearby. Cats descend from solitary wildcats. They hunted alone, defended individual territory, and never evolved any kind of cooperative pack framework. This means a cat defaults to a territorially protective mindset. An unfamiliar animal entering their personal space is not interpreted as a potential friend. It registers first and foremost as a territorial intrusion requiring active physical defense. You have one species primed to socialize, and another primed to defend space first. Put those two default settings in the same hallway. Conflict is not an anomaly. It is the biologically expected outcome. Now we hit the deepest primal layer underneath all of this social mismatch. The predator and prey overlap. Cats are skilled predators, but because of their small size, they are also frequently prey for larger animals. Their nervous systems possess extremely fast defensive reactivity. Sudden movement, fast approaches, and loud noises trigger a cat's prey response instantly, regardless of whether the approaching animal actually intends real physical harm. Dogs frequently approach new animals with fast, excited movement. From the cat's perspective, a bounding dog registers as a dangerously fast approaching predator. This triggers the exact fight or flight response evolution built in for genuine survival encounters. The cat hisses, swats aggressively, and eventually bolts. And this creates a genuinely unfortunate biological feedback loop. Because many dogs carry deeply ingrained predatory chase instincts bred into them by humans for centuries. When the terrified cat runs, the fast fleeing movement activates the dog's involuntary chase instinct. The dog gives chase immediately. What started as a simple social misunderstanding now looks exactly like a lethal predator hunting its prey, even though neither animal started with actual hostile intent. Mismatched play styles make this even worse. Dog play involves body slamming, mouth wrestling, and high-contact physical interaction. Cat play tends to be quiet, stalking-focused, and involves short, controlled bursts of movement. The sustained roughhousing of a dog feels like a literal physical attack. The dog is not being malicious. It is just playing the only way it knows how to play, using a language the cat never learned to read. There is also a significant size and power dynamic. Even a small dog typically outweighs and outmuscles most cats. Direct physical confrontation against a larger animal is a losing strategy. A threatened cat defaults to defensive aggression. Cat aggression is a calculated last resort. Fast, sharp, intimidating bursts of claws designed specifically to convince a larger threat that fighting is not worth the cost. This is why these conflicts look disproportionately dramatic for their short duration. The cat is simply trying to end the encounter before it escalates into death. But there is a major exception to everything we just covered. An exception that changes the entire equation and proves they are not permanently hardwired enemies. Early socialization. If early positive exposure can override this instinctive miscommunication, that strongly suggests cats and dogs can absolutely learn each other's languages. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior documented households where puppies and kittens were raised closely together. These animals developed incredibly close bonds. They learned each other's specific physical signals, well enough to avoid almost all the translation errors we just discussed. They successfully updated their default communication software to work together smoothly. Conflict is not destiny. It is just a highly volatile starting condition. None of this requires actual mutual hatred. It just requires two perfectly evolved biological machines trapped in a room, desperately trying to survive a conversation neither of them understands. Humans are not just watching a rivalry. You are forcing two alien worlds to collide and somehow expecting peace.